Hare Krishna, and welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita session. On today's topic for discussion is cycle of sacrifice. We will try to understand the concept of sacrifice in a little bit greater detail. Sacrifice, as it is, often is a so there's a concept of gratitude, and I tried searching for the meaning of the word gratitude, and this is what I could find. That it's a feeling of being grateful or of wanting to give your thanks to somebody. कृतज्ञता या किसी को धन्यवाद देने की इच्छा होना, इसको this is what is kind of known as gratitude. And if you see the image, there's a gratitude I am grateful for in the center, and there is like जैसे sun rays होते हैं, multiple things are there for which this person is trying to be grateful to. So this is the need to understand. um, I will do an exercise at the end of this class wherein we will also try to think of some of the things for which we feel grateful. Unless we feel grateful, we can't we can't be nice with anyone. It's if we understand what we get from somebody, it is easier for us to become express gratitude towards them, and in remaining becoming humble and submissive in front of them. uh, Benefit क्या है gratitude का? If you know, the fundamental principle is the feeling of being grateful or wanting to give your thanks to somebody. किसी को हम thanks कब बोलते हैं? When we get something out of other people, when we are when we get some benefits out of other people, when we get some gifts out of from other people, and it's natural that we feel gratitude towards them. If we if we have worked hard and if we have given what we deserve, we feel happy, but we may or may not feel grateful. But if we get, and without asking we get more than what we want or what we wanted, as per our desire, then and what we have got is essential for us, for our existence. ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ भी मिला है, but something that is very essential, and we had no other capacity to get those things. When that happens, naturally one feels grateful to those who are giving it, and we want to express our gratitude by thanking them, by appreciating them, by paying them respects, by paying them obeisances, becoming humble and submissive in front of them. So these are the different ways in which we can express our gratitude. The inner gratitude, ultimately gratitude is a feeling, it's an emotion in our heart, it's inside, but outside it is expressed by way of thanking somebody, by way of becoming how humble we are in front of them, becoming ready to serve them, give something back to them, offer them something, whatever they want. This is natural reaction when we feel grateful. And you all can think of some of the things that for which you are grateful, and we can make a list of those items towards the end of this class once we understand this concept of gratitude today. Sacrifice or यज्ञ उसको कहा जाता है in Bhagavad Gita. It comes at multiple places, and so multiple places the word sacrifice comes. And what we'll do today is we'll take a look at series of verses where sacrifice has been mentioned. We'll try to understand the meaning and the flow of that, of this. And then we'll also take a look at some of the incidences, couple of incidences from Bhagavatam where sacrifice is referred to. And then we will try to analyze this word sacrifice and the need for us to perform that sacrifice. So, end of this class, we should be able to understand this concept completely or as much as we can, as and then make a list of people towards whom we feel grateful, and if given an opportunity we should sacrifice, we should be prepared to sacrifice something for them. So that is a linkage between the gratitude and sacrifice. We sacrifice for those with about to whom we feel grateful about. हम हमें जिनके प्रति कृतज्ञता होती है, उनके लिए हम कुछ भी करने को तैयार होता है. दैट्स अ that's the fundamental, that's the basic linkage between those two concepts. So the first verse comes in the predominant verse which comes in the Bhagavad Gita, where sacrifice is mentioned, is yajna. Yajna arthat कर्मणोन्यत्र लोकोयम कर्म बंधन तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संग समाचार. भगवान कह रहे हैं कि in the this comes in third chapter ninth verse, and all of you can memorize some of these beautiful verses, and we'll make a list of these verses, important verses from a section of Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 to 6, then 7 to 12, and 13 to 18, and we will try and do some kind of a contest where we can memorize these verses, some of these beautiful verses, and explain their meaning. So these contests are done for children, but let's do it for ourselves. Let's participate wholeheartedly in this concept when it will be launched. So, work done. What Krishna is saying here is work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage. कृष्ण बता रहे हैं कि how that in the beginning of third chapter, Arjuna asks a question in response to which Krishna is speaking, that should I go to forest or should I fight, O Krishna? And because after 2.3738, there is not much mention about fight. The rest of the chapter, starting from 2.39 till 2.72, Esha Brahma Sthiti Partha, ऐसी ब्रह्म स्थिति अब अंत काल में अप आपकी है होती है, then you will attain that supreme destination from where, having gone once, you don't have to come back. And so Arjuna is saying, तो इसमें वॉर कहाँ से आ गया? मे बी कृष्णा डजंट वांट मी टू फाइट. सो ही आस्क अ क्वेश्चन एट द बिगिनिंग ऑफ थर्ड चैप्टर दैट do you really want me to take sannyas, or you want me to engage in this battle? What really you want me to do? And in response to that, Krishna is speaking that giving up work is not an option. That giving up work is not an option. You have to act. You have to act for the even your body will not be able, you will not be able to maintain body even if you really seriously quit work. What to speak of other things? So work has to be performed. Activities cannot be given up. But Krishna is saying that while but and activities cause bondage, that is also true. However, you can act in such a way that you can always remain free from bondage. So there is a method to it, there is a secret about that action, that act in such a way, in a Krishna conscious way, so that there is no reaction, there is no reaction to you. So that is, this is the verse, this verse explains that aspect, that यज्ञार्थात कर्मणो, अगर आपने भगवान के लिए काम किया, भगवान as a sacrifice to God, if you do, then there will be no reaction, no bondage, and no fruit for which you will have to come back. So, so this is great art of doing work, where you always remain free from bondage. Subsequently, in the 10th and 11th verse, Krishna is explaining that how this all started. So, at the beginning of creation, Krishna is saying Krishna is a creator, so he know what happened at the beginning of creation. So Krishna is saying that in the beginning of the creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigod. So again, very very bold, very it's a very clear statement where Krishna is saying that men and demigods, all of us, men, women, and demigods, all of us sent together on this planet, in this creation. So we didn't. So we were not monkeys. Good news is we were not monkeys. We were always humans. If we were in human, and if we were in monkey's body, we were in monkey's body. So men monkey didn't lost his tail and become men. There were monkeys and there were men. So man, women, and animals, insects, birds, fishes, everyone was present. Everyone was created simultaneously. So the modern theory that human became human from monkeys is not true. Krishna is completely clarifying that aspect. Nobody should remain in that illusion that we were monkeys before. If you think like that, you are monkey even today. So, Krishna said, Lord of all creatures, sent for generations of men and demigods, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and bless them by saying, Be thou happy by by his yajnas, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. Again, I'll repeat, living happily and achieving liberation. So the objective was very clear, that live happily, don't live in conflict of this world, don't create a conflict in this world, live peacefully, live happily. But also the goal of life is not to live happily. Goal of life is to achieve liberation. So both aspects, if you're conflicting, if you're झगड़ा हो कर रहे हो, तो you will never be able to never be able to achieve your goal. So don't live in harmony um, with the world and the rules followed by the world. But goal of life is to achieve liberation, achieve liberation. The 11th verse also explains this point a little bit further. The demigods being pleased by sacrifices will also please you, and thus by cooperation between men and demigod, prosperity will regain for all. 10th and 11th verse. Again, very beautifully that's explained by Krishna, that how prosperity, if you all of us want prosperity, and demigods and men were sent together in this on this creation, and Krishna expect that the sacrifices, men will not utilize the resources free of cost. They will perform some yajna sacrifice, and so that the demigods can become happy. And then demigods become happy, they supply profusely whatever is required to the humans. So Ishthan Bhogan Hivo Deva Dasyante Yajna Bhavitaha, in charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods being satisfied by the performance of yajna will supply all necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. This third chapter, 12th verse. Stena is thief. Bhumte stena eva saha. That stena means thief. And Krishna is calling those who are enjoying the gifts given by demigods without offering it back to them in return is certainly a thief. And then how does devotee act is explained in the 13th verse of the same chapter. The devotees yajnashishta asina santoho मुच्यन्ते सर्व किल्बिषय भुजन्ते ते त्वघम पापा ये पचन्त्यात्म कारणात्. The devotees, Santa, Yajnashishta Sana Santaho. Santo is translated as those who are in love with the Supreme Lord. And the devotees of the Lord, Prabhupada translate that as the devotees of the Lord are released, Sarva Kilbishay, Muchante Sarva Kilbishay, that release from all kind of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat sin. Verily eat sin. Even if you are eating vegetarian food, which you are unable to offer it to Krishna, which is contained onion, garlic, which is not considered sattvic, and hence it's not offerable to Krishna, and it is consumed for self sense gratification. Krishna says you're eating sin only. So in the 12th verse, Krishna is referring to those people who are not offering as thief because you're cheating, you're stealing from somebody's godown, somebody's else's property, you're stealing and you're consuming it, you're using it for your own pleasure, and you're not paying the price, neither you are expressing your gratitude for what you're getting. So such people are very low people, very bad people. So Krishna is referring to them as thief. And here Krishna is saying that if you do not offer and eat, it's like eating sin only. So very very, why eating? It's applied to everything else also. Even we take cotton from the nature and make clothes, and these clothes can also be offered first to Krishna, and then we can wear those clothes. So in most Vedic homes, most homes, many homes until very recent time, there used to be a ritual, there used to be a practice that whatever you buy from market, keep it in front of God, offer it to God, and then use it. Even if it's a kurta pajama you brought from market, you offer it to Krishna, offer it to God, keep it in front of your altar, offer it, keep for some time, then pray to God and then accept it. Even if you brought books, textbooks, if children go to new standard, new textbooks are bought, they are all offered first to Krishna. Everything is offered. New school bag is purchased, offered to Krishna. New whatever you purchase, you offer it to Krishna. Now these are not edible items. This is not ghee, this is not oil, this is not suji, sugar, good. Yeah, they will no never get become part of prasad. Bhoga bhoga में ये कभी use ही नहीं होगे. But even those items are offered. Then the 14th verse, Krishna is again giving some additional information about the cycle of sacrifice. Annad bhavati bhutani. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhavaha yajnat bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhavaha. Lot of people wonder कि हमें वेजिटेरियन क्यों बनना है, कहाँ लिखा है, कहाँ बोला है भगवान ने कि तुमको अन्न खाना चाहिए, मांस मटन नहीं खाना चाहिए. What is the food for the living entities, human being especially? So here it is mentioned that all living bodies subsist on the food grains which are produced from rain. So very clear, whatever is produced by rain has to be consumed by humans, and rains are produced by the performance of yajna sacrifice, and yajna is born out of prescribed duties. People wonder how rain happens. Rain is completely controlled by God, and there are demigods who are in charge of the rain, and they produce rain. It's not that it just happen, it's supposed to happen, it may not happen. So yajna, यज्ञात भवति पर्जन्यो. अन्न पर्जन्य से पैदा होता है और पर्जन्य यज्ञ से पैदा होता है. यज्ञ कैसे आता है? कर्म से आता है. एंड एंड कर्म कैसे आता है? 15वें श्लोक में बताया है, कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भव विद्धि, ब्रह्म अक्षर समुद्भवम, तस्मात् सर्वगतम ब्रह्म नित्यम यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the the all pervading transcendence is eternally situated and the acts of sacrifice. Those who don't perform sacrifice, उनका क्या होता है? My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice thus established by the Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin. Living only for the satisfaction of the senses, such a person lives in vain. Means whatever, whatever life, whatever You live in vain. In vain is like a waste. Whatever जो आपने किया, complete garbage. It's completely going to the dustbin. You may work for 8 hours in office and produce a big report end of 8 hours and take it to your boss, and boss take a look at it and throw it into the dustbin in front of you. How you will feel? Your 8 hours of hard work, or so much toil you would have done, so much research you might have done, so much effort you might have done, and all going into dustbin. एंड ये डस्टबिन के लिए बनाया, मतलब दिस इज व्हाट कृष्ण इज सेइंग कि एवं प्रवर्तितम चक्रम नानु वर्तयतीह यह अघायुर इंद्रिया आरामो मोघम पार्थ सजीवसी. मोघम इज वेस्ट. मोघम पार्थ सजीवती, आपका लाइफ कंप्लीट वेस्ट है, अटर नॉनसेंस. कब? जब आप अघायुर इंद्रिया आरामो, आपकी सारी एक्टिविटीज आर सिंपली डायरेक्टेड टुवर्ड्स योर इंद्रिय आराम. कैसे मैं अपने अलग अलग इंद्रियों को पोषण करूं, इंद्रियों का आराम दे दूं, इंद्रियों को बेसिकली सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन के लिए जो लाइफ जीते हैं, उनका कृष्ण से इज लाइफ इज अ वेस्ट. इट्स just garbage. It's just going to the go to the dustbin. They're just going to go to hell. But Q, because they are not following the cycle of sacrifice which was established by Vedas, and Vedas are manifested from Krishna. So it's ultimately instruction given by Krishna. Another beautiful verse in the fifth chapter, last verse, where Krishna says that Bhuktar Bhuktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Surudam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Rachati. That I am the a person who can attain peace. Shantim Rachati. A person who can attain peace is the one who knows me, knows Krishna. Kya knowledge about Krishna? What knowledge one should have about Krishna? That Krishna is the bhokta, is the enjoyer of all the yajna tapa. Yajna is tapa, is austerities and penances. आप जो कुछ करते हो, यज्ञ सैक्रिफाइसेस करते हो, जो कुछ ऑस्टेरिटीज करते हो, कोई चल के जाता है किसी धाम में, कोई बिना चप्पल पहने पूरे धाम पर परिक्रमा करता है, कोई बहुत कड़क उपवास करता है, निर्जला करता है, कोई अलग अलग तरीके से हम अपने अपने भगवानों को खुश करने की कोशिश करते हैं. एंड उसके लिए भी समटाइम्स गिव लॉट ऑफ पेन टू अवर बॉडी. We give a lot of pains to our body by keeping it hungry for 24 hours, or not eating certain items which we like for 1 month. And many types of sacrifices and penances are there. Then people sometimes walk for long distances, remain keep fast for 40 days by just taking hot water. A lot of them feel very proud that they have been able to do that. At the end of it, they are all glorified. They feel very nice that they could do all that. And but uh, one should know that what is the end goal of this such austerities and penances. End goal of such austerities and penances is to not become famous in our social circle, not to come on the front page of the newspaper that he could walk on fire, or he could take bath with ice cold water. uh, and such austerities and such penances are for self glorification. हम कुंभ मेला गए थे तो वहां अखाड़े थे, एंड देयर आर मेनी sadhus who were performing such wonderful mystic activities, but and they were becoming famous. Everyone was chasing those sadhus, why they are doing it, what they are doing it. There was a lot of kutuhul और उत्सुकता about these sadhus. ये कौन है, कहाँ रहते हैं, क्या करते हैं ये. And there were a lot of they generated a lot of excitement in the Kumbh Mela also. But one should understand that if your goal of your tapasya or yajna, if it is not to attain Krishna, then your all your efforts become waste. Because Krishna is ultimately should be the end enjoyer of all the yajna and tapasa, whatever we are perform. And why? Because he is Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. He is Lord of the entire universe. And he is Surud. ऐसा नहीं कि वो भगवान है और हमसे कोई रिश्ता नहीं है. He is Surud, he is well wisher, he is our ever well wishing friend, and not only humans but also sarva bhutanam, of all the living entities. So if you fish see a chicken or a goat who is about to get slaughtered, Krishna is well wishing friend of those also. So seeing Krishna, seeing these are particles of Krishna, seeing presence of Krishna inside their heart, we should not indulge into such activities. Surud sarvabhutanam, and ये जिसको पता है, ज्ञात्वा माम शांति रच्छति. अगर if you know all of this about Krishna, you will attain supreme peace. Another beautiful verse where Krishna repeats a similar point in the 24th verse of 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where he says, Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha na tu mam abhijananti tatva tatvena tascha chavanti te. That I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Another beautiful verse in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, fifth verse, Yajna Dana Tapah Karma Na Tyajyam Karyameva Tat. Yajno Danam Tapaschaiva Pavanani Manishina. That these three activities one should never give up. Which are those? Yajna Dana Tapa. You know, austerities and penances, and along with that Krishna is adding dana, that is charity. The charity or sacrifice, charity and penances are not to be given up, they must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity and penance purify even great soul. Even if you become so-called great by all standards, material standards, spiritual standard, you should never give up these activities, these three minimum activities that should be done by each every one of us. And this should never be given. Why? Because they even can, they have potency to even purify already pure soul. Purest devotees also can get purified by performance of such activities. Let's take a look at some of the instances from Srimad Bhagavatam where there is a reference to the sacrifice. So Bhagavatam opens, the first chapter, first canto, with the sacrifice, with the description of a sacrifice which are supposed to be conducted for thousands of years for the welfare of the mankind. Kali Yuga was about to come, and all the rishis were worried about the people in the Kali Yuga. What will happen to them? Will they give up completely to will they give up give up to follow the cycle of sacrifice? Will they completely stop the process of sacrifice? And if that were to happen, how will they get subsisted? How will they be maintained? How will demigods provide them with their necessities for life? From where will they bring water? From where will they bring food? Will they all suffer? Will they all die? What will happen to them? So the sages in Naimisharanya were worried for the people like all of us, and therefore for our benefit to understand what is the process to 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 learn and to perform sacrifice, what is the right process to understand that they were performing yajna. And Sutta Goswami appeared there and he spoke Bhagavatam. So the sacrifice is a constant companion of Srimad Bhagavatam. Every now and then we see penances and sacrifices being performed by different devotees, by different characters in Srimad Bhagavatam. Taken just three examples. Canto 3, 21, penances performed by Kardama Muni. We were discussing yesterday the overview of chapter of third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which wherein there is a description that penances performed by Kardashi Kardama Muni um, were so great, and so uh, Lord personally becomes so happy seeing him perform those penances that he personally appears in front of him. He personally appears and then he asks him what you want, and then what he gives him whatever he wants. In addition, he he commits to him. We become so happy with his austerities and penances that he promised to Kardama Muni that I will personally come as your son. Such is the power of Brahmana. Such was the power of Brahmanas in the earlier times. Such of the power of the austerities and penances that they were performing. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, has two sacrifices, or predominant description of sacrifices is the one which was performed by Daksha Prajapati, and the second one was King Vena, the story of King Vena, where Brahmanas were performing sacrifice. In case of Daksha Prajapati, the whole story unfolds because of that sacrifice that performing. He's performing big sacrifice. He's called all the demigods. So sacrifice is a place, is a where the so the Vishnu and fire are considered to be the Vishnu is the topmost in terms of accessibility, and fire is the lowermost in terms of accessibility. And in between these two, all the demigods are present. All the demigods are present in between these two, and through the medium of fire, sacrifices are delivered to the demigods as well as to the Lord Vishnu through the medium of fire. Fire is the one of a God who is easily accessible to us. Vishnu is the most difficult to access because of the purification required, surrender required. So, through the fire, through the by offering what is considered to be the most valuable for us in fire, if we offer that in fire with a mood of sacrifice, it is delivered to the devatas. But when Yaksha Prajapati, as described in the fourth canto, arranges for a sacrifice, all these devatas personally come there. And that has been described in many places that when pure Brahmanas perform sacrifice, devatas, they just don't accept everything through the medium of Agni Dev. The personally comes, Indra comes, Varun comes, Sun God comes. Everyone personally appears in the sacrificial arena where the sacrifice is being performed. So Brahmanas make them sit at appropriate places according to their individual status, and then that is where they accept whatever their offerings by the Yajman to them. So this was the this was the power of Brahmanas, that they could make a demigod appear in person to accept the ahuti that Yajman wanted to offer, and then they bless him. All the demigods, they bless him. And what to speak of demigod? Even Supreme Lord, Brahmanas can force a Supreme Lord to appear by their power of their devotion. And Supreme Lord happily appears in Bhagavatam. Many such instances are described where even Supreme Lord appears. Forget devatas. Even he comes, even Vishnu comes, Krishna comes in person to accept his obligation and give benedictions. So, uh, that is the power of sacrifice. That is the power of yajna that Brahmanas were performing historically. The story of King Vena. King Vena is atrocious king, a, a third class king, one who stopped all the sacrifices to the demigods and to the supreme lord. uh, he became a terror for brahmanas. He told brahmanas that his argument was, then brahmanas assemble in his kingdom and says that we should do something, but we should give opportunity to King Vena to rectify himself. So we should go and explain to him the what is the verdict of Shastra, so that he can correct his action. So inside he should allow again the performance of sacrifices to demigods and to Lord Vishnu, so that prosperity can come to the kingdom and everyone can become happy. So with that thought in mind, Brahmanas approach King Vena. Even unwillingly, they glorified him when they. So it's a etiquette, when we go and meet someone, we glorify them. So Brahmanas glorified King Vena, and then they explained him the verdict of Vedas. Verdict of Vedas is that sacrifice should be performed, and for the satisfaction of the devatas, Devi Devatas, as well as for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you perform sacrifices for the benefit or pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead, there's no need to perform additional sacrifices for the satisfaction of devatas, demigods. So, having heard this attentively, King Vena started to speak, and then he said that you Brahmanas are rascals. You are useless people. You eat, take all benefits from me. You're you're living in my kingdom, taking enjoying all the facilities that I am providing, and you're now asking me to perform sacrifice for the pleasure of the demigods and so-called supreme personality of Godhead. Don't you know that a king is a representative of supreme personality of Godhead himself, and he as well as all the demigods reside in the body of king, and hence you should actually perform sacrifices for my benefit, for my glorification. And not only you should do that, you should also ask all the citizens, engage them in performing yajna sacrifice for my satisfaction, for my pleasure, because I am the king. You don't need demigod, you don't need supreme person of Godhead. Whatever you want, I am that. And Brahmanas become extremely angry. Say this person doesn't know anything, also has no desire to learn anything. So what should we do? They consult each other, and they by speaking mantras, they kill this King Veda. Such was the power of Brahminical, powerful Brahminical culture that prevailed, that existed at some point of time in India, in the Bharat Varsha. So this is the power of sacrifice. This is the power of sacrifice. So what is sacrifice? In simple terms, sacrifice is giving up something which one can lawfully enjoy. Giving up something which you can lawfully enjoy, which is something dear to you, which is something enjoyable by you, which is perceived as enjoyable by you, and something which is valuable, something which is rare, something which is of value, of use, and you should have you have a desire to enjoy that. So and you have capacity to enjoy. But despite of having all the facilities for such enjoyment, by higher knowledge, because of some higher knowledge, I am giving up that enjoyment. And that is in general simple meaning of word sacrifice. Yajna as a form, yajna as a form has a havan kunda, which is prepared by way of brickwork, and by following certain rituals, by following certain instructions given in the Vedas, how to construct a fire sacrificial arena, and what to be used, what not to be used. And there is a process to make this kind of a sacrificial arenas where actual sacrifice havan can be performed. Ghee is used to and then the ladle is used to pour ghee into, give ahuti to the fire, and yeah, mantras are chanted for the benefit of the yajaman and all the attendees of this fire sacrifice. So as a principle behind performance of yajna is sacrifice. Yajna is a form, externally form hai, but principle behind that is that I want to give up something which is dear to me, and that is a sacrifice. The principle of sacrifice. Why sacrifice? Why not enjoy it all ourselves? Where is the need? So let's go deeper. So on the left hand side, you will see because we had a lot of information, a lot of discussion about food, that 3.12 describes that if you eat for your benefit, you are you are a thief. And then if you are not offering to the yajna, if you're not eating yajna shishtas asina santo, which is done by the great devotees, what they do, if you're not able to do, if you're not able to eat prasad, if you're eating food which is unofferable, which you cannot offer, and if you are eating that kind of a food without offering, then you are eating sin. You are a thief, and you are eating sin. So that's why, because of this reference to the food, we have picked up all the pictures which are about food. So first is a picture from Govinda Ali in Juhu. Govinda's Juhu is called Juhu, Govinda's Thali in there. So that picture you can see, but let's focus not on the left hand side but on the right hand side. Why sacrifice at all? So humans need food for survival, and they are fully dependent on nature for food grains, food like grains, fruit, vegetable, milk, sugar, etc. So there was a story we discussed one of the class that last yesterday, in fact, that a farmer meets God and says, "I'm very tired," and God inquire, "What have you done?" He says, "I do farming." "What do you do?" "I do farming." But God started asking, "You're doing farming, very good, but whose land? Who owns the land? Who has given you the land for farming?" He said, "You, God." "Okay, then who gives you the seed?" He said, "You, God." "Who gives potency in the seed to fructify?" He said that every seed may have seed, but if not every seed is potent to become a plant. So that potency is put inside a, a seed by Krishna. So farmer says, "This potency, from where that potency come? From you, God." "Okay, then who gives the rain?" He said, "You, Lord." "And who gives sunlight?" "You, Lord." "Who gives moonlight?" You, Lord." "Who provides you with air?" "You, Lord." Then God says, "If I'm doing everything, if I'm only doing everything for your, which is enabling your farming, what are you doing? And if you're not doing anything, how can you get tired? What are you tired of?" So uh, we have to understand we are fully dependent on nature, and for everything that we eat, whatever is on our plate that we think of eating, everything has come from nature, everything has its origin in the nature, and these things only could be produced with the help of land, water, air, light, sun, moon, etc. None of these facilities we can manufacture on our own. They are all provided by demigods on behalf of Supreme Lord. They are provided by demigods on the instructions of Supreme Lord. Rain comes, somebody may arrange it, but it comes on the instructions of Supreme Lord. Sunrise happens, sunset happens. We may have capacity now to predict their timings, their arrival timings in every place. Mumbai sunrise will be so and so time, and sunset will be at so and so time. The and the sun may seems to follow those time zones as well, but sun rises and sets at the instruction of Supreme Lord. So these facilities are provided by demigods on behalf of Supreme Lord Krishna. Hence, what should we do? We have as a basic gratitude, human must offer foodstuff to demigods before eating. Why? Because we have no two ways in which this can be avoided. If we were to manufacture our own sun, moon, air, rain, etc., so that we have no dependency on demigods, neither on the Supreme Lord. However, with all our technological development, we are not able to do that. We can't manufacture extra land, extra inch of land than what exists. Rain, we can't produce cloud, we can't produce rain. Water, we cannot produce. We can only use what exists on the planet. It changes form, but we can essentially what is there in the planet only can be used. We cannot uh, manufacture our own water. Uh, so so is true for air. So is true for light. The sunlight, the sun cannot be manufactured, no matter how much high power bulbs we can produce. We cannot produce a sun. We cannot produce moon. So none of these and every one of they play a role in crop getting produce. We may there is a fruit being manufactured, a flower being created. Everyone play a role. Everyone play a role in that, and we we have no capacity to manufacture these things on our own. Neither now. So the first option is gone. You can't do it on your own. Second, can you pay for this? Can you pay for what you're getting? Now, we've seen in some of the previous classes that the sunlight that we get, if we were to pay a bill, And how much would that be? It could be, it can run into billions of dollars for a day for a small state in America. So there were the researchers actually tried doing a calculation, run a calculation that if we were to provide this kind of a light using artificial means, how much over the state of so and so, how much effort or the cost we would have incurred, and taken that cost into consideration. If we were to receive a bill for one day, how much would that go to? And it was coming to some $40 billion for a day for a small state in one of the country. So, so clearly the we have no capacity to pay. Even if somebody were to send me a bill for sunlight for the earth, I have no capacity to pay. From where will I pay? We can't pay. So we are forced to accept these gifts free of cost. We are forced to accept these gifts free of cost because this is the arrangement by the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord does not want us to pay. We have no capacity to pay. Even if we want to pay, we cannot pay. And we cannot manufacture our own sun, moon, air, water, and earth. So we are helpless. What we can do, we just are forced to accept these um, free of cost, and therefore we should have basic gratitude. Understanding this, we should be grateful to those who are supplying us with all these necessities of life. Those who don't understand position of Supreme Lord, for them sacrifice to demigod is recommended. The previous slide we say that hence as a basic gratitude, human must offer foodstuff to demigods before eating. Now ये तो बेसिक ग्रेटिट्यूड है. You're not doing anything great. We should offer whatever we are trying to enjoy, use for our own maintenance, enjoyment, subsistence. We should first offer it to demigods, knowing from where they are coming. And it's coming because of their effort. And so we should, as a basic gratitude, we should offer it to them. But it's not the ultimate instruction. Offering it to demigod is applicable to those who do not have any understanding of Supreme Lord. But those who know that Supreme Lord Krishna exists and he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they need not offer anything to demigod. They can directly offer it to Lord Krishna. So for devotees, offering to Lord Krishna is recommended. Purpose of food is to keep ourselves fit and healthy for self-realization. Remember 3.10, that live happily and liberate. Live happily and attain liberation. Strive for liberation. Try for liberation. Try to stop the repeated cycle of birth and death. Read Bhagavad Gita every day, where it is mentioned how you can stop the cycle of repeated birth and repeated death. Aprapyamma nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Ninth chapter, third verse, Krishna says, if you will not attain me, you will certainly return back to the cycle of repeated birth and repeated death. But attaining Krishna can happen only if you remember Krishna at the moment of your death. Krishna explains that in the 8.5th verse, where Krishna says that if you remember me alone, अंतकाले च mam evam smaran muktva kalevaram. Uh, at the time of giving up your body, if you remember me alone, then yat pravati sa madbhava yanti nastyatra samshayaha. Then you will attain me, and of this there is no doubt. So aprapyamma nivartante mrityu samsara vartmane. If we cannot attain Krishna, we will certainly return back to the cycle of repeated birth and repeated death. And how to attain Krishna is given in 8.5 by remembering Krishna at the moment of our death. And how to remember Krishna at the moment of our death is given in 8.7, where Krishna says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhya cha. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Every time, all the time, you remember me and do your prescribed duty. If you are a lawyer, do your duties as lawyer by remembering Krishna. If you are a businessman, do your business remembering Krishna. If you are a homemaker, to perform your all your duties by remembering Krishna. So with cultivating by cultivating this constant remembrance of Krishna throughout life, by the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by reading Krishna's instructions, by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, which contains stories of various incarnation of Lord and his interaction with his wonderful devotees. Now, so by doing all this, by serving Lord, by serving devotees in their mission, we can constantly remember Krishna throughout our life. And if we can do that, we will also remember Krishna by his mercy at the end of our life. And thereby we can attain Krishna. We can attain Krishna, we will stop the cycle of repeated birth and repeated death. Otherwise, if we cannot attain Krishna, no matter even if we go to Brahmaloka, we will this Punararvartino Arjuna, the cycle of repeated birth, we are not escaping. Even Brahma has to die, Brahma also has to take a new body. um, so the only way to escape the cycle of repeated birth is to attain Krishna. So therefore, we should offer everything for the pleasure of Krishna. For devotees, offering to Krishna is recommended. Purpose of life, food is to live healthy life for self-realization. Food given in IIT and IIM is to keep students healthy so that they pass out at the end of their session, end of their term. Not to stay fit and live there permanently. Nobody wants to, nobody goes to IIT and IIM to use those hostel facilities for the lifetime. Everyone wants to eat, everyone wants to stay healthy for writing exams so that they can get out. They can get out of that college at the end of that term. Nobody wants to stay permanently. Similarly, we should also not try to figure out in the world. We should also not try to live happily ever after is applicable to the spiritual world. Happily ever after is actually applicable to the spiritual world. It's not available in the material world. So in the material world, what we should do, we should utilize whatever we have. Live, stay fit, stay healthy so that you can attain, perform devotional service and attain Krishna, leading ultimately to liberation from material struggles of existence. If we forget the purpose of human life, if we forget, if a student forget that end of his 3 year term he has to pass, he has world of opportunities waiting for him. If he forget that, what will he be left with? He will be he will look to make a permanent home inside the college campus, and he will, and that is a failure. That is actually a failure of a student is not supposed to live in on campus forever. He's supposed to utilize the campus and the facilities there to pass and get out of that college ultimately. So if we also forget the purpose of human life and simply accept the supplies for sense gratification, sense enjoyment, then we are like thieves only. So here, we have to understand that we have to accept, we are forced to accept all the supplies, but if we only use them for sense enjoyment, then Krishna says, as Krishna says, we are like thieves, and thieves are punished by the laws of material nature. A society of thieves cannot be happy. It's very easy to understand. चोरों के बस्ती में शांति तो नहीं हो सकती. There cannot be any peace, because if you are a thief, you will always have fear that you will get caught someday, you will get caught somehow, someday, somewhere. So you will constantly live in fear. And if you look at the society in general around us, around, because now all of you are pure devotees, but so you are not fearful, but everyone else is fearful. Everyone else can is fearful of death, fearful of some bad event happening to them, fearful of uh, some disease that may get, that they might caught, so if fearful of some negative natural calamity that might come on any day, fearful of they being hurt by some other living entities at any given point of time. So people constantly live in fear. Wherever they are going, they are always fearful. They are paying heavy insurance because they don't know which calamity will come when, and how they will get dragged. So they save through their nose, because to take care of the future uncertainties. If something wrong happens with me and my family, how will we survive, how we will sustain? So a society of thief cannot be happy. Hence humans must offer foodstuff to Krishna before eating. So eat only what can be offered. Unofferable, so there is, Krishna's clearly given what cannot be offered. Padma patra pushpam phalam toyam yume bhaktya prayashyati. So patram, pushpam, phalam. Patra is leaf, pushpa is flower, phalam is a fruit, and toyam is water, milk, ghee, honey, etc. So all of these items you can offer me because I like them, and Krishna does not want to eat his children, and therefore meat should not be offered, and other tamasic uh, ingredients like onion and garlic also should not be offered. And sattvic food, which is made up of fresh ingredients, should be cooked very nicely as best we can afford, and that can be offered. And Yome Bhaktya Prayashyati. Patpam Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayashyati. So offered with love and devotion is what Krishna is searching. So even if the food stuff is not properly cooked, somehow you don't know how to cook, even if you offer it with whatever you can, and whatever you can to the best of your ability, if you offer it with love and devotion, Krishna says, I am forced to accept it. So devotees of Lord are referred to as Santa. Santa means they are in love with Krishna. So they eat food only if it is offered to Krishna. This offering to food to Krishna releases devotees from all kind of sins. So therefore, we don't do food distribution. Anybody can do food distribution. We do prasad distribution because those prasad has been connected with Krishna. Prasad has the saliva of Krishna mixed in it because Krishna has eaten it and he's left it by his mercy for our consumption. So the food which is uchishta or tested by Krishna, now that food we get it as prasad, and that prasad when we distribute, we ourselves consume and we distribute to others. Those who consume that become free from sin because sin is Maya. Krishna, Maya, Surya Sama Maya Andhakar. Once Krishna comes inside our body, the sins disappears. Just like how sunlight comes inside a room, the darkness will disappear. Similarly, whenever we eat prasad, whenever we get connected with Krishna, it has Krishna can, with Krishna's potency, all our sin and all our negativities can disappear. Those who cook food for their own enjoyment verily eat sin only. How can a person be happy who is a thief and who is sinful? How can a person be happy who is sinful and who is a thief? So we should not fall in that category. Even if we are, up till today, we should change our category to Yajna Shishta Sinasanto. Yajna. So the cycle is given by way of representative. The grains food, we should eat grains which are produced by rains. Rains are produced by yagya. Yagya comes from karma prescribed in the Vedas, and Vedas um, come from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they come for the purpose of subsistence of the living entities. How do we understand role played by demigods in our life? Now, if we, though for those who don't have direct conception of Supreme Lord, for them, offering to a demigod is recommended. So, if you see this billiard table, and from the top view, generally have top view, what you will see here is the stick is hitting one ball, who is hitting another ball, and that other balls are disappearing in the holes. There are six holes on the sides, and the this you will see that this ball is hitting one of these balls, and these balls are disappearing in one of these holes here. So this is what is seen. from the camera on the overtop camera, aerial camera. So it can be explained that the ball hit at a particular force and angle, and it goes into the travels at a particular speed and hits goes into the particular hole in that direction. And whenever there's a mismatch, the ball does not enter the hole, but it hit one of these sides and then comes back. So physics, using our knowledge of physics, this can be explained. But what is not explained is, there are hands which are holding the sticks. There are hands which are holding the sticks. So there is an expert player who is holding these sticks in his hand. He has a desire to hit the ball and, push those balls into the respective holes. So unless we see, if we only limit our knowledge to the stick and the calculation of force through by which it's hitting, the balls are being hit, and the angles that get created and the speed at which the ball travel, if we limit our vision to physics, on this snooker table, billiard table only, we will miss out on the most critical part, that the hands which are holding the sticks and generating those angles, generating that speed, hitting the ball. So those hands are not to be ignored. So, the players who are holding the sticks and are creating those angles and applying the force on the balls should not be, they may not be visible to the camera, but they should not be ignored. These players are also have a desire to hit the ball and not to hit others. It is happening by desire, not by chance. So when I'm hitting a particular ball, this ball, I'm hitting this ball so that this ball can go into this hole. There is a desire. This is not an accidental random action. I'm deliberately hitting some balls and I have a desire to hit some other ball so that that ball is pushed into the hole. So it's not by chance, it's not accidental. Apply the same logic to the world that we get, that we have, the nature around us. Basically the world and the nature around us, when we apply the same logic, we see things happening. Sun rises every morning, sun sets every morning, moon rises and sets every morning, every day. A wind is blowing, the seasons are changing, the daylight is utilized by plants to produce grain, to produce fruits, to produce flowers, and consuming those, the humans are surviving. Humans are exhaling, giving out carbon dioxide, which is again used by plants. Plants are giving out oxygen, which is used by humans. There is a cycle, a water cycle going on. This is oxygen cycle. This is water cycle. The image is that of water cycle going on, where the salted water is preserved in oceans, which is evaporated by sun, which is transmitted through to different places by making clouds, manufacturing clouds. Some portions are stored on top of hills as snow, so that there is a constant water supply that can happen throughout the year. And some portion directly flow through rivers, as rivers in different parts of land, giving opportunity to people to drink and consume water, and subsist, basically survive. So all of this is like what we see on the from the top view of snooker table. This ball is being hit at this speed, at this angle. So, and because it is hit in that way, it hits another ball which goes into the hill. So this is what we are seeing, but we are not seeing the hands holding those sticks who have a desire to do this activity on the snooker table or billiard table. Similarly, when we observe nature around us, uh, what we see is only the effect. We don't see the people behind who are giving this, who are getting these things done. And so, but we can't ignore or deny their existence of demigods who are in control of the nature. Similar to those who are holding those stakes, we thought they are more important when we learn that there are people behind those sticks also. Similarly, what we see happening in the nature, if we should also understand that they are happening because of the demigod who are doing those things. And humans must either please these demigods or their ultimate master, Supreme Lord Krishna. A recommended form of yajna for Kali Yuga is Harinam Sankirtan Yajna. Why? Because we don't have pure Brahmanas who can perform the sacrifices that were performed in Srimad Bhagavatam, as described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Uh, our samagri is not as pure as it was available in the previous yugas, and Yajman do not have capacity to perform such yajnas. So the sadhak is not proper. Sadhana is the material used in yajna is not, yajman is not proper, the ingredients of yajna are not proper, and the host, the brahmanas who are supposed to perform this yajna, they are not proper. And because of all the three essential elements are impure or contaminated today, it is not really recommended for us to perform yajna sacrifice. So what is recommended? ये बोलते हैं ना, तुमसे ना हो पाएगा, भगवान बोलते हैं ये तुमसे ना हो पाएगा, तो आप छोड़ दो ये सब. What you can do, you can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sankirtan Yajna is sufficient or can replace all the yajnas that are recommended in the previous yugas. Recommended and were performed in the previous yugas. One Harinam Sankirtan Yajna is sufficient to replace all of those. So when what we should do, we should chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Such is the potency of this mantra that it can replace all other sacrifices, and it can make Supreme Personality of Godhead happy. And if he master becomes happy, all his servants will become happy. So there's no need to worship and pray to individual demigods, but it is sufficient for us to make their master happy. And Krishna becomes happy when we sincerely approach Krishna for in a loving serving mood. So Harinam Sankirtan must be performed by humans if they wish to survive and continue to enjoy. So for our own benefits also, we need to perform. Now, let's take a look at how we perceive God, and we'll use example of a small baby. A baby, when baby is born, baby becomes the center of attraction for the entire home. When a small baby cries, immediately gets attention from everyone around. whoever whoever will are doing whatever they are doing, they will leave their work and they will run towards the baby if they hear baby cry. Baby enjoys it. Baby may think he is the center of the world. The whole world, practically the whole home, practically revolves around me. Later, the same baby may discover that I am not the only center of attraction for my family. There are many such members who at different time can become center of attraction. So my will not always subsist. Whatever I want, I cannot always get it done. Why? Because everyone can have different priorities. The world does not revolve around me alone. So when sometimes he gets, sometimes, so what the baby, the same baby when he grow up may discover many other family members who also get attention, sometimes even against his wish. In life we may not get all that what we want, and the fruits and the fruits we are we get are not only dependent on our efforts but also on Krishna's sanction. This is कर्मणि वारिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फल हेतुर्भुर माते संगस्व अकर्मणि. That you have a right to perform your duty, but you're not entitled to the fruits, because fruits will also require my sanction. Your efforts plus my sanction will give you the fruit, and my sanction depends on what is deliverable to you, what you deserve. I will not sanction for only for what you want. I will give you what you deserve, and thereby You at times may get what you want or may not get what you want, because I will decide what you deserve basis actually your karmic reaction which are due to be delivered to you. So this is how this is what happens to us, that our dependence on nature for survival make us bow down to the nature in a helpless way. At times we feel extremely powerless in front of brutal forces of nature. Examples are like tornado, flood, wildfire, earthquake, uh, drought, and tsunami, landslide, typhoon. So many such examples you can see on the left hand side picture where uh, when such thing happen, the forest fire, wildfire, such thing happens, we just feel helpless. We just don't know what to do. We don't know to whom to turn to for help. The governments can't help. Uh, Multiple countries cannot help. Multiple United Nations cannot help. We cannot help. We just feel powerless and helpless. So when such situations occur, when we witness such situations, we inquire if natural course of inquiry in this case is if we realize one thing, that we are not in control of this world. None of these things we would have ever wanted for ourselves to happen, but these things are still happening, which means we are not in control, but apparently somebody else is in control. And we should and then we should have inquiry to find out who that someone else is. Who is that someone else who is in control of our world? Basis his desire, everything is happening. Irrespective of my wish, whatever they want, that's happening. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to feel bad about it. Maybe I can do that, but how it's going to help me? Maybe I should harmonize my desires with their desires. So there is no conflict. This is better choice. This is better choice because then at least I'm not competing with that supreme personality of Godhead. I'm desiring what I'm aligning my desires with his desires. So if there is no conflict, there is alignment. I will always feel happy, because now I don't desire anything other than what that person desire. And what is the desire of that supreme personality of Godhead? Where Krishna says in 10th chapter, 10th verse, that tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tvam yena mam upayanti te. The translation says that yena mam upayanti te means by which they can come to me, by which living entities can come to me. When will they come to me? When I will give them dadami buddhi yogam tvam. I will give them additional intelligence to understand me in tattva, understand my great nature in tattva. When that happens, and when will I give additional intelligence to these people? When I will see them satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam, when they will be always engaged in my service, in devotional service, in loving way, bhajatam priti purvakam, not in a grudging way, but in a loving way. When they will start lovingly performing devotional service of hearing, chanting, serving Krishna, I will give them seeing their sincerity, seeing their loving nature. I will give them additional intelligence by which they can understand me in tattva. If they will understand me in tattva, they will get attracted and attached to me, and then they will then they will remember me throughout the life. They will remember me at the end of their life, and by which they will come back to me. So yena mam payanti te. So that is the desire of the supreme personality of Godhead, and we should harmonize our desires with his desire. We should cultivate a desire to go back to Krishna at the end of one's life, and model our activities, rearrange our activities to facilitate that achievement of that goal. So this is our inquiry. This is our first inquiry towards searching of God. It can do a quick activity as to what is your reason for searching God? What is your reason for searching God? And why do you think people in general search for God? Let's uh, let's take a moment to reflect on why you wanted to search for God. You can send a WhatsApp message to me if you don't want to use this chat box, or else you can mention it in chat, or you can mention by way of a direct message to me through WhatsApp or through Zoom chat, as you may please. What is your reason why you wanted to search for God? What happened in your life which prompted you to consider uh, search for God? You always knew probably God existed. Most of us would be born in uh, nice, devotional families. But what is our personal reason why we started searching for God? We generally do perform rituals at home. We do it as a tradition. Our family teach us to do certain things in certain way. Every day agarbatti lagana, every day is puja perform karna, abhishek karna. So we do that as a child. When we grow in a particular family setup, we do most of those things which are told to us by our parents and our grandparents. But that does not become our reason for searching God. We generally seems very happy in our childhood. We don't have a lot of desires, a lot of extra, expectations from life. But there comes a point in our life when we actually start searching for God. Dhruva Maharaj wanted to search for God, to 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 ask him for a kingdom which is greater than his father. And that happened because of the insult. He was insulted by his stepmother, who told him that you cannot sit on the lap of your father because you are not born out of my womb. So you have to, if you have to born through my womb in order to be able to sit on the lap of your father. So this is, and then this insult he couldn't tolerate, and then he left his home searching for God so that he can ask this question to the God. So that was his reason why he wanted to search for God. What is our reason? What is our reason? Let's think about it. It's very important aspect of our. So because why, if we understand and get convinced why we want to search God, then it's easier for us to direct our activities, model our activities in to achieve that purpose. So having this good purpose is always helpful. Clear purpose always helpful. Okay, very nice answer. I'm just going through some of the answers. Second question we can discuss. Uh, somebody can unmute and speak or raise hand. Why you think in general, has our understanding for God changed over the years? This is how probably we started searching for God. And what could be our current understanding? Why we continuing with our search, our study of Bhagavad Gita, our devotional service? Has that changed from where we started and what it is now? So let's take this second question. That has Is there a change? Yeah. Continue to think. What is our current goal? What is it that we want from God now? Those who have answered the first question can answer second question. Don't directly jump to the second question. And be sincere, be honest.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. You are on mute, Guruji.
So sorry. Yes. So let's go to the second question. Why do you think people in general search for God? And for this, I want you to look around a little bit. Maybe your relatives, maybe your uncles, aunties, maybe your uh, colleagues in office, college friends, maybe your distant relatives, maybe your neighbors. A lot of people are there who everyone has some conception of God with them. They are carrying some conception of God with them. Uh, when you happen to interact with them, what understanding that you get? Why people are searching for God in general? What do they expect from God? Ashwini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Most of the people are searching for God because they want to fulfill their materialistic desires, and devotees wants to attend, means devotees को भगवान को पाना है, इसलिए वो भगवान को ढूंढ रहे हैं, और जो नॉन डिवोटीज है वो उनके मटेरियलिस्टिक लाइफ के इच्छाएं पूरी करने के लिए उनको ढूंढ रहे हैं, ऐसा मेरा मत है. थैंक यू.
And this has been your observation when you look around your colleagues,
Yes,
friends.
yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Colleagues wants promotions and financial stability, financial मतलब रिच बनना है, बहुत कुछ करना है. कुछ लोग जो एजुकेशन के लिए उनको एजुकेशन में सक्सेस मिल चाहिए, इसलिए उनको गॉड वो ढूंढ रहे हैं कि गॉड हमें आशीर्वाद दे और हमारी इच्छाएं पूरी करे, और अगर वो
Okay.
पूरी नहीं करता है तो वो है ही नहीं है. ऐसे भी कुछ लोग हैं कि ऐसा मैं इतना कर रही हूँ मुझे नहीं मिल रहा तो भगवान नहीं है जग में, ऐसे भी बोलने वाले लोग मुझे
Yeah.
मिले.
क्या करते हैं generally people? What do they, when you say you're observing good, you're very good observation. So what do people do for getting these benefits? Promotion, job, अच्छे marks. Generally क्या करते हैं? व्रत करते हैं?
व्रत करते हैं, ज्यादातर हमारे ऑफिस में हर साल बालाजी को जाते हैं, क्योंकि भगवान बालाजी उनकी वो इच्छाएं पूरी करते हैं, तो वो बालाजी को सिर्फ मटेरियलिस्टिक थिंग्स ही मांगते रहते हैं.
So,
हर
so
साल जाते हैं प्रभु
okay,
जी.
so har saal they try to go to Tirupati Balaji, ask for
And
new
and
set of
donate their
demands.
hairs also. Donate their
Okay,
hairs also
they
because
do
their
all
wishes
that.
are fulfilled.
Well,
Yes.
there's the belief that if you donate your hairs, then your desires will be fulfilled. So they every year try to go with new list of desires.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, and anything else you want to share about all these, or whatever our observations are about people in general?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, what I feel is for the second question, of course, like Mataji mentioned, that people want to, fulfill their material desires. But what I have also observed is that search initially it start with search and fulfilling desires, which everybody has. But then nowadays, it is also more of a status symbol for people who are performing other activities. Like for example, Ganpati festival. So it starts with, of course, showing that we go to Balaji or we go to, we
Siddhi
celebrate
Vinayak.
Ganpati festival.
Correct.
Yes, we do this. We go by walk, but that's more of a societal thing. Also, it is there, and it is not naturally which is coming to them. Of course, they're doing it, but then it is, just for the namesake it happens, because at the end they all do sinful activities after the Visarjan, after the Ganpati, Visarjan, and other festivals also. So it starts with desire, but then nowadays, what this is my observation from.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mataji. Kanchan Mataji. Yes.
It is when they feel something that it is not happening in their favor, they are tend to search for the God. And then as soon as they get little comfortable with the situation, they again forget. And then they find some other reason. They will get some other reason in some other means. And then again, the search will go on.
So it's a cyclical. कुछ
Yes,
जरूरत होती है तो
it is
immediately they
never.
come and then immediately जरूरत खत्म हो गई, they forget, they come back to their old way of the
फिर
life.
उसके लिए पंडित जी को पूछेंगे, कोई समथिंग पूजा करवाएंगे, कहीं पे यात्रा पे जाएंगे, कुछ सेक्रीफाइसेस करेंगे, लाइक फास्टिंग, लाइक गिविंग डोनेशंस, ऑल दोस
हम्म।
थिंग्स.
ये बकरे काटे, ये ऐसे सैक्रिफाइस किया है? एनीबडी नो, एनीबडी हु हैज डन दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग? यहाँ
आई
पे
हैव
जाके बकरा चढ़ा
पीपल.
दिया, वहां पे
Yes,
मुर्गी
I have
चढ़ा दी?
seen few people while I was in Calcutta, Durga Puja mein generally they offer goat to the Mata Durga. And अभी यहाँ पे हमारे एरिया में क्योंकि बकरा वगैरह नहीं देते हैं, they feel little better that we have to sacrifice, so they offer pumpkin or lauki for that purpose.
ओके। सीमा माता जी एंड देन विकास प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे
प्रभु जी, हमारा बस्तर क्षेत्र है, तो यहाँ पे बस्तर का दशहरा फेमस है। तो वहाँ पे बस्तर का दशहरा बहुत फेमस है। तो यहाँ पे राजा का पूरा प्रथा चल रहा है, बहुत पुराना संस्कार संस्कृति है। तो यहाँ पे मतलब बकरियों का बलि दी जाती है अष्टमी के दिन। तो कम से कम 8 ऐसे 18 ऐसे बकरों की बलि दी जाती है। और वो मानते हैं कि उसको देने से ही हमारा रथ चलेगा, रथ यात्रा होता है दशहरे के समय। तो रथ यात्रा में अगर वो बलि नहीं देंगे तो फिर वो देवी रुष्ट हो जाएगी। तो ये मुझे बहुत बुरा लगता है देख के। बट क्या कर सकते हैं कि यहाँ का प्रथा ही ऐसा है लोकल। तो बहुत
प्रचार कर
मतलब
सकते हैं
मान्यता
माता जी।
चली।
भगवत गीता
मुझे
का
बहुत
प्रचार
बुरा
कर
लगता
सकते
है
हैं।
प्रभु जी।
हाँ नहीं,
नहीं कुछ कर
दैट्स
सकते
ट्रू।
क्योंकि ये बहुत परंपरा शुरू से चली आ रही है। मतलब मुझे लगता है 100 वर्षों से भी आगे हो गया है। चली आ रही है, चली आ रही है। यहाँ के आदिवासी जनजाति लोग हैं, वो लोग ही, उन्हीं का राज रहता है उस समय, और उन्हीं लोग ही करते हैं सारा कार्यक्रम। इतने सारे खून और वो सब देख के मुझे वीडियो आती है, जब देखते हैं हम तो बहुत बुरा लगता है। लोकल है, हम यहीं के हैं, तो हमारे 100 मीटर के रेंज में ही ये सब कुछ होता है बिल्कुल से। तो
वेरी वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट बट
जी
एज
जी
आई सेड कि प्रचार कर सकते हैं हम अपने तरफ से,
जी
और
प्रभु जी।
फिर
हाँ जी,
कृष्णा
इस्कॉन
मिली।
मंदिर है, जाते हैं
हाँ
वहां पे। जी
करेक्ट
प्रभु
करेक्ट।
जी।
बहुत
जी
बहुत धन्यवाद माता जी। विकास प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
ये साधना माता जी।
हाँ प्रभु जी, जब भी ये जो होता है ना, एनिमल को ऐसे काटते हैं करते हैं, फिर वो जो देवी देवता है वो क्यों नहीं ये करते, मतलब वो क्यों नहीं रोक पाते, मतलब उनको बोल, उनको मतलब
जैसे
सजा कुछ।
हाँ, सजा तो सबको मिलती है एज पर लॉ ऑफ कर्मा, बट रोकना उन किसी का इज नॉट देयर जॉब टू स्टॉप। जैसे कि अ, आप सिग्नल्स पे खड़े हैं, हम ड्राइविंग करते हैं, सिग्नल पे खड़े हैं, आपको पता है लाल सिग्नल पे गाड़ी नहीं चलानी है, कोई आपको रोकता नहीं है, हवलदार आपको रोकता नहीं है। वो आप आपको इट्स योर फ्री विल कि आपको रुकना है रोकिए, चलना है चलिए। आपको कैमरा पिक्चर फोटो खींच लेता है, घर पे आपके चलान आ जाता है, 2,000 रुपये पे कीजिए। सो इट्स अ इट्स अ दिस इज हाउ लॉ वर्क्स। कि लॉ बनाने के बाद एक it is not implemented by force, it's a voluntary compliance. Those who don't comply, they get punished. वेरी प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल, बीकेसी में आप कोई भी सिग्नल तोड़िएगा, कोई आपको नहीं रोकेगा। एंड इफ देर इज नोबडी यू कैन एक्चुअली एस्केप, ठीक है। वहां पे पुलिस कभी होती है तो वो रोकती है, वो सिग्नल तोड़ने के बाद रोकती है, उसके पहले नहीं रोकती। आपको बोलती नहीं मत तोड़ो, बोलते हैं पैसे दे दो। और नहीं भी पुलिस नहीं भी अवेलेबल है, आपको फोटो खींच जाती है, आपके घर पे चालान आ जाता है, वहां पे करो। सो दिस इज हाउ द लॉ गेट्स operationalized. The law is it is intended to, so it is The intention is to educate people, and people using their own free will should comply with law or should be prepared to face the consequences. वैसा है. So Vikas Prabhuji, thank you Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. As all Mataji has already emphasized a lot that what kind of category of people are there. So, while reading through the pages of Bhagavad Gita, and then Lord says that the four categories of people. So mostly people are they are actually in demanding something from Lord. Until their demands are fulfilled by any demigod or Lord, first of all they are bereft of the conception of Lord, that who is actual God. For them, everyone is God, and everything that can fulfill their desire is God. Like even Sai Baba, who is not even the Vedic Shastras, for them, Sai Baba is also God. And their faith is continuing till their desires are fulfilled. So people are thinking about God or in the search of God basically for their own materialistic benefit. And when they become very aggrieved with something, then either their desire go more their like their faith on God go more deep, or they become bereft of it. Like I've seen couple of example in my office only, that I couldn't pass my exam. I was having a lot of faith on Lord, so I don't now I don't believe on God itself. Very rarely we find people that who are in search of God out of the inquisitiveness. That means by reading something at their own, they have become firmly fixed that yes, there exists some supreme personality of Godhead kind of personality who is actually in control of the whole lot of creation. And I want to learn more and more about that particular personality. So there is variety, and in the variety, most percentage is that how my personal desires can be fulfilled, how my material gain can come, and whoever personality for that I'm going to worship for, whoever fulfills it, that is God for me, and that is the basic reason of their for the search, general search of God is for that. As you beautifully mentioned also that the ritualistic worship is going on, and that ritualistic worship actually keeps them a basic connect with the Lord, that we need to do worship, we need to do offer agarbatti, fool, and everything. But again, the motive is that I should get something in return as well. It is not purely out of my love to you. But why, after reading Bhagavad Gita, we come to this conception that ultimately Lord is supreme personality of Godhead, and He is causelessly providing us everything. So why to be in search of Him by begging something up from Him? And but rather we should become more and more like devotionally inclined to love and serve Him, since He is continuingly fulfilling all our requirement that is of day-to-day basis. Hare
Okay.
Krishna,
Hare
Guruji.
Krishna. Thank you
Dandavat
so
Pranam.
much. Hare Krishna. So let's see how do we take this a little bit further. As Prabhuji mentioned that Krishna says in 7th chapter that that the four kind of people comes to him. So let's simplify this. So people come to Krishna out of fear. They come for desire. Some will come for duty, and some come out of love. Fear, desire, uh, duty, and love. They're the four moods in which we may look for God. The fear, desire, duty are where the mood where we are respectful towards the God. For God, we basically are approaching God for what He gives us, or what He has capacity to take away from us, what He can allow to retain with us. Basically what God gives us, what from what we can get out of that God. Sometimes God can give us, or God will not take away from us. He will allow us to hold that. He's given me beauty, physical beauty, and he doesn't take that away. So I'm praying to Him to allow me to retain my physical beauty, my wealth. Don't take away. So initially, I'm asking Him for wealth. Now I'm asking Him to protect my wealth, so that don't take away my wealth. So I'm getting something out of Him. So I'm approaching God for what I'm getting out of Him. The fourth one is so the first three moods are um, Here we are worshipping God for his greatness. We are worshipping God for his greatness. He is greater than us, he is superior to us, and he can do things which I may not like. I may not like to lose my loved ones. So I'm asking him for protection of my loved ones. I may not like to lose my education, my wealth, my intelligence, my memory, my remembrance, my physical beauty, my social influence, my social power, so physical power. I possess all of this, and I have cultivated, and I'm attached to all of this, and I want all of this to be maintained and grow if possible, but at least maintain. I don't want God to take away this from me. If I have some basic understanding of the way how the world function, I will also know that I'm not in control. And God, if he wants, whoever that might be, I may not have very clear conception of who God is, but whoever that higher power is, he can take away these things from me. He can take away my loved ones from me. In front of my eyes, I can't do anything. So, with the different, um, for different p- objectives, we may actually approach and start worshiping God for his greatness, for how superior he is. Knowing how superior he is, we may start worshiping him in different moods. Kabhi, and then there will always be ups and downs. See, sometimes my desire get fulfilled, I worship more. Suddenly my desires don't get fulfilled, I give up worship, or I switch. ये अच्छा नहीं है, वहां जाते हैं, ये नहीं तो, और at different days let's follow different rituals. So कोई तो खुश होगा मुझसे. I can have different conception and different ideas, and some may actually have an idea that all are one. किसको भी करो, भगवान एक ही है. और इट डजेंट मैटर, आप गणेश जी की करो, दुर्गा की करो, शिव जी की करो, भगवान कृष्ण की करो, किसी की भी मत करो, साईं बाबा की करो, सब एक है. Some may even have that belief, and if you speak with them, they have very firm belief. They have, it's a wrong belief, but it's they hold on to that belief with so much sincerity, uh, and so much passion, with which they explain you what they believe, and what they are doing, why they are doing. And even if it is wrong, they just are blinded to that reality. But they do worship for God for his greatness. So when we approach God in love, another fourth component is love. As many of you said, very few people have love for God. Love is beyond what we get from that person. Love, for when we love someone, we love that person for who he is. Our mother may not be the most beautiful woman in the world, but we love her for who she is. Okay, so not from what our mothers eventually will become old, and they will stop giving us things which they earlier used to give. They will stop serving us. They will not be able to cook for us. They may not be able to take care of us. They may not be able to clean us anymore, clean things anymore. So as their age will grow, their utility will reduce. But for us, we will continue to love our mothers, even if she is just lying on the bed in her old age, not able to do anything, and we have to take care of her completely. We will still continue to love her, because we love her not what we get out of her, not for what we get out of her, but we love her for who she is, what she has done for us. So this is approaching God for his sweetness. God has greatness, God also has sweetness. When we appreciate, learn to appreciate his sweetness, how sweet God is, how loving Krishna is, how lovingly he has created this material world, how lovingly he has, by causeless mercy, he has given me what he has given me. We appreciate his sweetness, and this progression is possible devotional service, by chanting and hearing only. By if we perform, we for whatever reason initially we may come to Krishna, Krishna says, so those people are Mahatmas. No matter why you have come to you, why you have come searching for God, whatever could be your motive, whatever could be your purpose. But once you come to Krishna, and if you are connected with devotees, if you take up the process of Krishna consciousness, you will move away. You will move from these three to love. You will come on the platform of love, where we start worshipping Krishna for who he is. Four examples, four stories. Durvasa Muni, Ambarish Maharaj, he insulted Ambarish Maharaj, became angry with Ambarish Maharaj and cursed him. And Sudarshan came searching for Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni ran across all the three lokas, and he could not save himself from Sudarshan. Sudarshan was chasing him. He went to even Lord Vishnu, saying, please save me. I am your devotee. You save me from this Sudarshan. He is going to kill me. I can't tolerate the heat. So Vishnu said, this Sudarshan, you insulted my devotee, and therefore the Sudarshan is after you. So even I cannot retract this Sudarshan Chakra anymore. If you want yourself to be saved from the Sudarshan Chakra, you go and approach my devotee, beg for forgiveness. If he forgives, you will be saved, or else, it will finish you today. The same Durvasa Muni then run back to Ambarish Maharaj and beg for forgiveness, and eventually he's saved from Sudarshan Chakra. So Durvasa Muni went to Krishna for saving his life. So he went out of fear for losing his life. Dhruva Maharaj, as we were speaking, went to uh, Vrindavan and chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and got a darshan of Lord Vishnu face to face. Why he went? Why he performed all the austerities? Because he wanted kingdom which is bigger than his father, bigger than this that his father had. So he went to Krishna for material gains, material opulence, material desires. Even obviously, when he was touched by this conch shell on the head by Lord, obviously his desire changed, and the same Dhruva Maharaj said that I am when the when the most invaluable diamond is in front of me, I was hoping to get some broken pieces of glasses. Now he's comparing the kingdom bigger than his father with broken pieces of glass. Whereas he's considering seeing Lord face to face as pure diamond, invaluable pure diamond. Suddenly he's not interested. After that, he was not interested in taking the kingdom. So, but that change happened when he got connected with Krishna, when he saw Krishna face to face. When we get connected with Krishna consciousness process, we can also experience this transformation. When praying, don't give God instructions, just report for duty. Some may do it out of duty. Some may understand that I'm supposed to do this because I've got so much from God, and as a matter of duty, I should pray to God. I should do my basic rituals to show my gratitude towards God. And the last is love. You see Yashoda Maya feeding Lord, and Radharani is cooking for Lord. No, they don't do it for any purpose. They just do it out of love. So sacrifice is must. Uh, and sacrifice to Supreme Lord is is recommended by Bhagavad Gita, not to demigod. So come to the level where you are at least doing it out of fear, at least for desires, at least for duty, and best is if you can do it for love, nothing like it. So that is proper use of human life. Otherwise, aghayur indriya aramo mogham parthasya jivati. Otherwise, we will simply spend life for giving different pleasures to different indriyas, and thereby live our life in vain. We'll waste one lifetime, one valuable lifetime. Prabhupada writes in the purport, the the Mammonist philosophy of work hard and enjoy, sense gratification, is condemned herein by the Supreme Lord. Therefore, for those who want to enjoy this material world, the above mentioned cycle of performing yajna is absolutely necessary. One who does not follow such regulation is living a very risky life, being condemned more and more. Those who are not Krishna conscious are certainly engaged in sensory consciousness. Therefore, they need to execute pious work. The yajna system is planned in such a way that sensory conscious person may satisfy their desires without becoming entangled in the reactions of sense gratificatory words. The prosperity of the world depends not on our own effort but on the background arrangements of the Supreme Lord, directly carried out by the demigods. Therefore, the yajnas are directly aimed at particular demigods mentioned in the Vedas. Indirectly, it is the practice of Krishna consciousness, because when one masters the performance of yajna, one is sure to become Krishna conscious. But if by performing yajna one does not become Krishna conscious, such principles are counted as only moral codes. One should not therefore limit his progress only to the point of moral codes, but should transcend them and to attain Krishna consciousness. So sacrifice is must for humans to live happily. Sacrifice is not meant to subsist, is not meant for subsistence of demigods. वो भूखे नहीं रहेंगे. They are servants of Krishna and Krishna is taking care of them. So we don't, whatever we offer to them does not feed them. It's not for the purpose of feeding them. ऐसा नहीं होता है कि हम नहीं ऑफर नहीं किया इसके लिए वो भूखे रहते हैं इसलिए गुस्सा होके करते हैं. But they see our lack of gratitude and that can anger them. So and anyway, we have seen anyway who is stealing is punishable offense, and therefore they get punished. Anyone who eats sin is also committing sins. Obviously, he is also likely to get punished. He will get punished eventually. So, sacrifice is must for humans to live happily. Sacrifice to Supreme Lord Krishna should be made, so one is saved from multiple offerings to the demigods. So many demigods who all you will offer, so don't bother, just offer it to the Supreme Personality of Krishna, Godhead, Sri Krishna. And by supplying food to the stomach, all parts of your body get satisfaction. Supplying water to the roots, the entire tree get the nourishment. Similarly, when you offer sacrifices to Supreme Lord Krishna, all the demigods will get satisfied. Chanting and hearing are recommended types of sacrifices in Kali Yuga. Hence, one must start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra for developing love for Krishna. This is goal for human life. Lastly, the sacrifice. Now we are all at animal life, and there are three different processes are given. They are called yoga ladders. This is extended yoga ladder, the longest one. This is progressive. There are some shortcuts there, and this is express elevator. What is the difference? All starts with animal life. All starts with animal life, but if you remain in this ladder, you will do karma kanda, then sakama karma yoga, nishkam karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, bhakti yoga, and ultimately you will come to the stage of prema bhakti, bhava bhakti. So this is the longest duration, and there's no guarantee that you will birth after birth you will actually go upwards. You may go downward also. From animal life you can't go to or go below that, but karma kanda level you can fall down again in animal life if you have wrong association, if you perform wrong activities, or you may perpetually remain in animal life stage only. So human being, those who are eating animals only, they are as good as in the animal life says this thing. The atheist people who believe there is no God, they are also kind of living animalistic life only. So very, very unfortunate, but a lot of people we find in our contact list in this section, in this couple of section only. Very few will move to Sakam Karma Yoga and Nishkam Karma Yoga level. So is the progressive yoga ladder, where and we start with animal life. come to the karma kanda level. Karma kanda is when you accept the god as the authority to give you your sense gratification. So you you are ready to perform some sacrifice in order to get the sense gratification. So the objective is sense gratification only. Sakam karma yoga, nishkam karma yoga, sadhana bhakti, and uh, then transition to the prema bhakti and bhava bhakti stage where you get pure devotional service. And the best is express elevator. Express elevator also starts with animalistic life. So therefore, devotees go out for book distribution so they can search for these human animals and give them Bhagavad Gita. Surrender and association of pure devotees. We start associating with devotees. Um, who is pure devotee? Let's understand that anyone who is trying to cultivate Krishna consciousness in them, we can, at our level, we can consider those as pure devotees. They may not be perfect devotees, but they are, as long as you are trying sincerely, you are a devotee. And by associating with such devotees, a person can get purified. A person who is living animalistic life of meat eating, gambling, intoxication, all kind of intoxication, and all kind of illicit sexual activities. If one is indulging into, and he's Dvipada Pashu, he is referred to as, by simply connecting with devotees who are sincerely trying to learn Krishna consciousness, practice Krishna consciousness in loving way. Uh, they This is good enough for them to transform their life. So the the benefit in the express elevator is early association with devotees. The devotees will engage you in hearing and chanting. Hearing and chanting will lead you to anartha nivrutti and bhava bhakti, and eventually you will get prema bhakti. You will develop love for Krishna. How do we understand that? How do we understand that how sweet Krishna is, how sweet loving Krishna is, how sweet Krishna's reciprocation is, can be understood by this example, how sweet Rasagulla is. So Rasgulla is an extremely popular sweet in East Bengal, East region, East India region. Um, so how it is? It is generally white or yellowish in color, um, made with jaggery or sugar. So it is how what's about the it's a round in shape, but generally what is the texture? The texture, it is considered to be very soft and very have should have a very nice fragrance. It's a sweet, soft, round ball, um, and has should have a nice shape, nice fragrance. केसर होगा तो और अच्छा होगा, और येलो हो सकता है. Then its shape is just right to fit into any mouth, just right to fit inside any mouth. But how you get this perception? Is this perception sufficient? No. Ultimately, by hearing the description of Rajgulla, you don't experience Rajgulla. You get an experience of Rajgulla by putting that Rajgulla inside our mouth, and you know the sugar juice inside that Rajgulla bursts into our mouth, spreads in every corner of our mouth, and it is very soft, and we are relishing the entire taste of Rajgulla, and by eating it, and this is how we experience Rajgulla. So if you want to experience Krishna, you have to do it. You have to approach devotees. You have to learn art of hearing and chanting and serving. And if you do that sincerely, by Krishna's grace, we will get Krishna. Just like here, we can get Rajgula, we can get Krishna, and then we can get complete experience of Krishna. The essential is chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We did this, a brief tip. It is important to pronounce clearly and hear as we chant, but it is also important to understand meaning of Mahamantra, the mood of Mahamantra, the philosophy why we are why we want to serve Krishna. Understanding that philosophy, understanding that mood uh, with meaning. When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, in a sincere mood, we show our intent and our effort to Krishna. Intent is inner, effort is external. So when Krishna sees both, basis that he gives his mercy and we develop love for Krishna. We develop love for chanting Krishna Mahamantra. Two opportunities for chanting in the morning, in the japa session, uh, and we'll the link has changed, but the session is there. Hopefully, you are available in all the groups where the link get published every day. Please follow all the groups and pick up those links and join those sessions. Morning session for japa, evening session for reading Bhagavatam and Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. So we said we'll make a list of things we are grateful for, and all of you can make this list and message me at the end of this whenever you are done with typing. But now this, whatever we are grateful for, knowledge that we are grateful for things, make us humble, especially, and we should also know from where we are getting those things. Ultimately, who is the what is the source of those things coming? There could be some people to whom we can be grateful, to our parents, our loved ones who take care of us, and we should be grateful to them as well. But ultimately, they also come because of Krishna. So ultimately, we can be Krishna. We can be grateful to Krishna for various things, and it's important to make a list of things. So I'll give you one example. Prabhupada got a, a free passage, a return ticket to America on on a container ship, which was operated by a shipping company of Srimati Morarji. And he wrote in his diary that I am thankful to Lord Krishna to inspire Srimati Morarji to arrange for a free ticket for me to go to America. So I am thankful to Lord Krishna for inspiring Srimati Morarji to give me a free ticket to free return ticket for America. Now I can at least try and fulfill the desire of my Guru Maharaj by going to America and trying to preach there the message of Lord Chaitanya. So this is what Prabhupada writes. Prabhupada is writing that I am grateful to Lord Krishna for inspiring Srimati Morarji. So he was not going to Krishna for asking for a free ticket. He was going to every day. He was going to Srimati Morarji for asking for a free ticket. Arrange, please allow me to go to America. Please arrange for a ticket for me to go to America. And she was worried about Prabhupada. She was worried about his health. She was aware of how brutal America is, and knowing all of that, she was not willing. She said, Swamiji, you will go and die there. The brutal cold, it's huge. It's a very bad weather, very bad people. What will you do there? You don't have anything, you don't know anything. So she was out of worry, she was avoiding, but eventually she relented and she gave him the passage for America. So uh, Prabhupada was expressing gratitude towards her, but he thanked Krishna for inspiring Srimati Morarji to give him that free ticket. So we should also make a list of things we are grateful for, and it should be to people but we should make a list. When we make a list, we become humble. All of this was possible because these people existed in my life. All of this was possible because I got all this facility from them. All of this is possible because because Supreme Lord provided me all of this. So whatever I am, then if I'm grateful properly, then I can conduct my sadhana bhakti properly. With out of that gratitude, I can always remain humble, and with that humility, when I practice devotional service, I can become more sincere. It will help us in becoming more sincere. So with this, we will go to the last section of question and answer. Hare. So if you have a question, you can. Yeah, Kanchan Mataji, you have a question?
Hare Krishna, Guru. I have a question that we can be grateful for the adverse situations also, because many a times it happens that because of those adverse situations, we are moving towards the right direction.
Yes. So it's like when we say adverse, a mother disciplining a child by giving punishment. from a child's point of view, it's an adverse thing happening with her. She's been prevented, or he's been prevented from playing, uh, not giving me my favorite food, not
Mhm.
allowing me to play with water I like so much. But so from their point of view, it could be adverse. But from when they look back a few years later, they said it was best thing that you did, because it helped me get disciplined. It helped me become better individual than I am today. So yes, we may seemingly have a situation where we think these are adversities on us. Um, but in the long, when we look back after a few days, after a few months and years, we look back at them, we thought, oh, those were the best things to have happened to us. Okay, Sadhna Mataji, you have a question?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, जैसे मैंने पूछा था ना कि ऐसे जो एनिमल किलिंग करते हैं तो फिर डेमिगॉड्स नहीं रोकते, लेकिन उन जो एनिमल किलिंग करते हैं ना, उन लोग का ऐसा बिलीफ होता है कि ये करें, अगर एनिमल बकरे को काटेंगे या फिर मुर्गी को काटेंगे तो हमारा अच्छा रहेगा, नहीं तो फिर कुछ अगर प्रॉब्लम हो गया फैमिली में, बच्चे को कुछ हो गया, फिर हमारा हेल्थ कुछ हो गया, तो फिर वो ऐसे बोलने लगते हैं कि हम लोगों को किया नहीं था ना, इसलिए देवी नाराज है, इसलिए ऐसा हो गया। और ऐसा होता भी है हमारा, मतलब ऐसा मैंने देखा भी है कि जैसे वो करते हैं, वो जो बोलते हैं ऐसा फेस्टिवल करना है हम लोग को साल में या फिर ऐसा, वो करने के बाद फिर वो ठीक हो जाता है सब। मतलब कुछ केसेस में ठीक हुआ, कुछ केसेस में ठीक नहीं हुआ। फिर कुछ इसको कैसे समझे कि वो
So,
रियल।
so in the Vedo में भी animal sacrifice is a subject, and as I said, जैसे when in the previous yugas, we've seen how powerful Brahmanas were. Brahmanas were so powerful that they can ask demigods to appear in person and take their obligation. कि आपका जो सैक्रिफाइस का शेयर है, ये यजमान जो ऑफर करना चाहते हैं, वो आप पर्सनली आके लीजिए। सो इमेजिन, अगर ब्राह्मणास इतने पावरफुल है कि इंद्रदेव सैक्रिफाइस यज्ञ में आ रहा है, आपके पर्सनली आके अपना शेयर लेके जा रहा है, and Varun Dev aa raha hai, Sun God aa raha hai, and all the Devi Devatas are personally coming and taking their share. So this was the standard. This was the standard of Brahmanical culture we had in India. And these Brahmanas could actually kill an animal, offer an animal to the sacrificial area, fire, and immediately give them new body, which is a higher body. Animal body, you can't become a devotee. So, but in a human body, you can become a devotee. So, if if as a Brahmana, I have capacity to take your life and give you another better, superior life, I'm authorized to then kill. But as we see, today's Brahmanas have no capacity. They don't even have basic sense control and mind control. What to speak of doing these kind of things? So, therefore, in today's times, all kind of animal sacrifice has been banned, because those Brahmanas don't have capacity to bring that animal into life. Therefore, they should not kill. So earlier times, Vedas are there, and those rituals were also mentioned in the Vedas, using which even today people are still continuing to perform those rituals without having any authority. So if you have authority, it's like a judge. आप जज करके काम कर रही हो, तो आपको अथॉरिटी है, तो आप you can write a death sentence based on evidence. If it is fit case for death sentence, you will write a death sentence. But you cannot write a death sentence post your retirement. It will have no significance, right? So as a judge, when you have authority, you should do what you are supposed to do. When you have no authority, you have no power, you should not do. A soldier, जब घर पे आता है, he is not supposed to kill his neighbor on a small quarrel. थोड़ा सा झगड़ा होने से वो गन लेके आके, जस्ट बिकॉज उसके पास गन है, डजंट सपोज, ही इज नॉट सपोज टू किल, ही इज टू हैव अथॉरिटी। व्हेन ही किल ऑन द बैटलफील्ड, ही हैज द अथॉरिटी। व्हेन ही किल इन हिज neighborhood, he is killing without authority. That is not what should happen. So knowing this, Brahmanas today should have should not kill because they have no authority. Question rahi baat demigods, how happy they become. Imagine how happy you will become when you will see your children getting killed. You will not become happy. There's no question of anybody's happiness. uh, Devatas are also jiva tattva. Demigods, they are servants of Krishna, but they are also jiva tattva, and they understand Krishna's position. They understand position of all the living entities. They understand that the soul which is inside your body is also in the body of a fish or a goat or a chicken who is supposed to be offered as a sacrifice. Now it's no difference. So if you can offer a chicken, can you not offer your own children? It's the same. It's the same emotion. I mean, so there's no difference. So, um, so when you can't do things in the right way, you end up doing things in the wrong way. And there's no question of any demigod goddess becoming happy seeing that offering. So one should not offer, even uh, if 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 one gets some, if you see some positive effect happening in somebody's life after offering these uh, these bakras and chickens, uh, it and you yourself said that in many other cases it doesn't happen, uh, which indicates that that your that this the thing, the result that you get, not necessarily there is a direct correlation between the act and the cause and the effect. If you probably had a better fruit to be delivered to you, therefore you get your positive effect. And when they are not to be delivered, they you don't get positive effect no matter what you do. What you can still do is you can act in proper way in your present so that your future doesn't become horrible. By killing animals today, you're creating a very horrible future for yourself in future. When the reaction of this karma will come, and it will come in a very ghastly way, in a very horrible way. So no matter what's happening with you in the present, your and this will be because of the present actions as well as past actions. You should continue to do proper actions in the present. You should not resort to the killing of animals whom you cannot bring to life again. So you should not do that. You have no authority to do that. Therefore, the animal killing is now, in fact, yajna sacrifice is also not required. If you want to perform yajna, call devotees at your home. Let them chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sing. All of you can sing behind, and feed them with prasad. Offer bhoga. Offer prasad. Feed them. Feed these devotees. This is yajna. This is yajna for you. In the Kali Yuga, this is your yajna. No need to even light fire and offer ghee. The ghee is also impure, and the brahmanas who are chanting mantra, they are also impure. So few impure things coming together cannot give you pure result. तो आपने वो नहीं किया तो भी जो अगर अच्छा होना है आपको तो होगा, नहीं होना है तो नहीं होगा. So you should not waste your time, effort, energy in doing yajnas anymore.
यस प्रभु जी, मतलब मुझे मतलब ये बात मुझे बट आई कैन कन्विंस ये है, मुझे पता चल गया है कि हाँ ये नहीं करना चाहिए, भले अच्छा हो ना हो, लेकिन एक एक जीव को ये नहीं करना है, ये मुझे ये हो गया, कन्विंस हो गया. लेकिन वो सामने वाले को हम लोग कैसे, वो लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं तुम लोग को ऐसा करते नहीं है, इससे देखो ऐसा ही है तुम लोग का, कुछ
So
अच्छा है ऐसा.
they if they say this for us, we should tell them जो हमारा होना है वो भगवान करेंगे.
हाँ
And we will accept whatever Krishna gives us, but I will not. मैं आज गलत चीजें करके मेरे कल का भविष्य में खराब नहीं करना चाहती. आज हम भगवान के दया से भक्तों के मिले हैं, भगवान की भक्ति कर रहे हैं, जपा करते हैं, कुछ तो करते हैं. तो आई कैन नॉट डिग्रेड माई सेल्फ. आई विल ओनली ट्राई टू अपग्रेड माई सेल्फ. मैं ऊपर ही जाऊंगी, इससे नीचे नहीं आऊंगी. इसके लिए मुझे शॉर्ट टर्म में अगर कोई सैक्रिफाइस भी करना पड़े तो मैं टॉलरेट करूंगी. अगर भगवान मुझे चाहते हैं अच्छा अच्छा कुछ हो मेरे लाइफ में तो करेंगे, नहीं कर चाहते तो नहीं करेंगे. तो बट मैं आज मेरे प्रेजेंट एक्शंस खराब करके मैं फ्यूचर मेरा खराब नहीं कर सकती. if I now having come to know ki what is right, what is wrong, I should not be deliberately doing wrong. So even with a short term कोई लालच भी दे दे, शॉर्ट टर्म बेनिफिट होगा तो भी वी कैनॉट डू लॉन्ग टर्म रॉन्ग फॉर अ शॉर्ट टर्म गेन ऑल्सो. वैसे भी कोई देवता नहीं चाहता कि उसके भगवान के बच्चों को हत्या करे. सो ये है गलत, मतलब पहले भी गलत था, बट एटलीस्ट ब्राह्मणास वेर सो प्योर कि दे कुड ड्रिंक. It's like a animal who cannot perform bhakti. If he can be given human life, he can perform bhakti in that life. It's elevation. So it's a mercy. It's a great mercy by that brahmana if he can do that. बट अगर वो नहीं हो रहा है, वो कोई कर ही नहीं सकता, आज के ब्राह्मण नहीं कर सकते, तो ये यज्ञ के चक्कर में नहीं पड़ना चाहिए और बलि तो बिल्कुल नहीं देना चाहिए. यस स्वप्निल जी, यू हैड अ क्वेश्चन.
Okay,
Hare,
thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you very much for this such a nice session, and it touches the basic things. So thank you very much. My question is not a question, but I just want to have an understanding. When we say that materialistic gain in life has no meaning because we are not following the absolute truth. But when we talk about, when we look around, we see so many miseries all around. And the most misery what we see, whatever may be their previous karmas, but at present, whatever we see around is that they seriously lack, financial or materialistic things in their life, and that is making them go and beg on streets or live like a life like a street dogs. We can compare their life to the street dogs. So my dilemma is, should we pray for such souls who are there around and give them, ask them that they should have a better life, or we should simply turn our blind eye and say that okay, that is because of your own past karmas. So that is where survival, asking getting materialistic benefit for survival and getting materialistic benefit for luxury or desires, and desire to always live a comfortable life. So is there a difference in that, or both are same? That is the first question. Second is very simple. This meat eating we've been discussing, will it ever end uh, in this society, or it will continue? Since it is Kali Yuga, we have never heard about this, and whenever we heard in the past times, we heard them only in terms of demons doing this act. But here in this society, we don't see any comparison being done between demons and humans eating meat eating. So will it ever come to an end, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dharat Pranam. So, I'll answer the second question first. It's easy one. It will grow. It will not end. It will grow. Even if Krishna consciousness grows, this will not decrease. In fact, if you happen to travel around the city uh, by 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 highways, if you take any highway, you will come to know how fast it is growing. So it will only grow. So it's not. Uh, so it's like we can't really do much about it. Even if no matter how much you preach, you will always have people going in the count and percentage who want to defy the laws of God. So this will grow. This will not end it, at least near future. So regarding the first, what should be the approach by seeing when we see people suffering, and so we should do our dharma. We should do our dharma in every situation. So if you, so that's what we do in Bhiwandi. We perform annadan. We go to places where people are not getting basic needs, what to speak of getting good meal to eat, and we provide them with food. We just don't give them food, we give them prasad. So with whatever we, whichever way we help people, we if we can connect them with Krishna somehow, anyhow, we will bring them. We'll not just solve their one problem. We'll give them much more than what they had asked for. So by getting connected with Krishna, eventually their devotional service has started. Simply by eating prasad today, unknowingly their devotional service has started, and eventually they will come to the. They will, whenever the vehicle goes, they come and dance on the Hare Krishna tune that is played on the microphone, on the loudspeakers, and then they accept prasad, and they go and eat prasad. Every day they are eating prasad, so which is so fortunate for them. Eventually, some of them will actually develop interest in the why with the devotees. They may come to the temple, they may become devotees themselves. So we don't know how Lord can act in their way by initially and the small children taking prasad. When they grow up, they may become full-time devotees and start preaching in that same area. So Krishna will engage them and become we may engage them in the way he desires. So this is how what we can do. If we see anybody hungry, if you can, again we can only do so little. The the people are committing so much horrible actions today that we see that the facilities for sense enjoyment are also enjoying are also increasing, and degradation of the society is also increasing parallelly. So if we want, if we can feed those devotees with prasad ourselves, or we can contribute in situations where they to the institute like ISKCON, who do this kind of activity of Annadan or Gita Dan, Vidya Dan, wherein not just give a book to a person, give them Bhagavad Gita, give them Krishna book, give them some book which will have something to talk about Krishna, which will give them some knowledge that uh, I'm here for. Even I'm in human birth. I have a human birth. I have capacity to think and learn, and I can learn Bhagavad Gita. I can go back to Krishna from this lifetime. So no matter where I have been born, no matter if I have never seen my parents in my life, no matter I'm living by begging on the road, I can also become a pure devotee of Lord and go back to Krishna in this lifetime itself. So uh, whatever we do, we should connect, we should bring Krishna into it. If Krishna is kept missing, no matter how much you do, whatever you do, those endeavors will be a failure. So think of ways and means using which you can connect them with Krishna. If you can do that, and if you have a desire to do that, you should do that. Otherwise, um, what we do what we can do. Otherwise, we don't. You're not a head of state who is supposed to do this. Uh, so they're supposed to do that. So, but we should do what we can do, and what is in our control, what is in our capacity. And if we have some capacity, this is what you should do. This is how we should do. Connect those people with Krishna. Their miseries may continue, but at least their future will become bright eventually.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Raji, for a wonderful question. We see one more hand raised. Yeah. So there are no more questions. Thank you everyone for joining, staying back. Wish you all a very happy week ahead, happy Krishna conscious week ahead, and we'll meet next Sunday with another topic from Bhagavad Gita. Stay Krishna conscious, chant every day, read every day, stay in association with devotees. Thank you everyone. We'll end today's session. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna to everyone.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Krishna
Dandavat
Prabhuji,
pranam.
Dandavat
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
pranam.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam. Thank you so much.